Good day, everyone. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for confirming this. Okay, welcome back to our weekly session. It's been more than a week, actually, because we had the Easter break. And I hope everyone has had a nice Easter break. Although I know everyone is still at home and it's not that pleasant, especially with this beautiful weather. Okay, so we can have a look at what has happened since we last met. It was the 6th of April we met last. So a few things have actually happened in the government. The lockdown has been extended until May the 3rd. Honestly, we had some good signs, especially yesterday, when the number of the death toll, had decreased really a lot. So the curve of infections is also decreasing. People admitted at hospitals are also decreasing here in Italy, and they say the daily new infection rate is close to 1%, which are very good signs for us. We really need good signs, some hope. But the government has still asked us to, in addition to stay inside, basically stay home a little bit longer. And this is until May the 3rd. So basically the restrictions are more or less the same. There's only 4 reasons people should be going out. It's food and supplies, it's medical care or caregiving to a friend, exercise only in the proximity of your home. They say within 200 meters of your home. And then be aware that a lot of police is out there, they are in force and they are issuing fines. Okay, what's new is that they have decided to open stationery shops and shops that sell clothes for children. Otherwise, everything has remained the same. You should fill out a form when you go out and declare that you are moving from one address to another. Okay, but what gives us more hope is that the government is increasingly, we have heard in the news, they keep talking about this phase 2. Phase 2 is on the way. Phase 2 has been announced and basically is a preparation to losing all these measures. So the government is preparing this phase 2. And this will be an intermediary period, between the strict lockdown that we have now, where we cannot go out, and the end phase, the 3rd phase, where the world will return to normality, basically. It will be very gradual, and not much is known at this stage, but basically they have put together a task force to design a timeline and progressive measures to get the country back on track after this phase, which is still the emergency phase. The task force includes economists, psychologists, sociologists, work organizations, and it is headed by a manager. So economy is at the center, and this person is the former CEO of the Vodafone Group. So there's not much we know at this stage, but they will probably look at how to reorganize travel, how to reorganize school, transport, and they will give us a schedule for the opening of all the different activities. So a new presidential decree is expected already by April 20th, where they will start indicating what activities will be able to open. In short, basically, they need to pick all the services and businesses that can restart their activity, and scientists need to agree to that, need to say, yes, they can, it's safe to do it. So A broader lifting, therefore, of restriction with social distancing and probably wearing masks still in place could be seen already from May the 4th. What about school? We don't know if from May the 4th, face-to-face classes will be allowed. Today, also, there was in the news the European Commission. The European Commission has given some recommendation for a common response. So they are concentrating mostly on the health issue and health measures and tools that can be shared within the different countries and the economy. But this is like the first big attempt to have a common response. But you can read more on their website. Basically, this is something new that came out today. The travel advice remained the same. It is indeed a national competence of each sovereign state, but there are some recommendations, and the EU is recommending all member states and states in the Schengen area to extend the restrictions of travel in and out of Europe until the 15th of May. Okay, so you can read about it on their website. We always suggest you to go and visit our website, MIP for Students, where you find the frequently asked questions under the International Students Office session in this page, our frequently asked questions document. You find our slides, but you also find a lot of webinars and other activities that are organized by MIP. Okay, this is for students in Italy. We really care for you and we always think of you. I know international students who are here away from their families, it can be hard. I just want to share these numbers again and again. Just one, the most important is 800-894-545, which is the number you should call if you have symptoms that are relevant with COVID-19. Okay. Now, last week, we have discussed how to approach rental disputes. I don't know if you have participated in our webinar last week, but we had a guest who is the president of one NGO, Tenants Union, and these unions lobby basically for the rights of tenants. And Friday last week, we have also shared a document with you with a number of guidelines that they have provided to us. Basically, they have organized a service for MIP students. So for a number of issues that you may have with your landlord or agent, real estate agent. So you should read this document that we have shared via email and be aware that they are ready to help. So you just need to follow their guidelines to start to approach them. Basically, to sum up, the question you all have is, does the crisis change any of my rights and obligations in terms of rent? Unfortunately, the answer is no at this stage. There hasn't been any move yet from the Italian government to offer tenants relief. So officially, you need to fulfill the terms of your existing agreement, but there's a number of tools, and these are explained very well in their document, in the document of the Unione Inquilini, the Tenants Union, that give you some power to negotiate. Okay, so even if there aren't any legal tools that can be called upon to protect, the interests of students, there are some ways to use the current legislation. There's no decree, but possibly already on the 20th of April with the new decree, the government might announce some measures in this regard, because several organizations, both from the part of tenants and landlords, have called for measures for rental properties. Okay. So the guidelines of the Tenants Union start by dividing the students in two main groups. So the students who have left their apartment, and students who are still in Milan and are facing problems paying the rent, basically. So what they've done, they have actually prepared a very, very good tool. They have already drafted template letters that they are willing to send to your landlord or to your agent, where a number of things would be highlighted. Okay. So I have to mention the Unione Inquilini, the Tenants Union, is basically an NGO, and it works thanks to subscriptions. So they have a yearly subscription of 50 euros, and they have lowered for us at 25 euros for 6 months. They will tell you when you contact them, they will tell you how to pay this fee. So do not worry, this should not prevent you from contacting them. They will also share a privacy form where you consent, you give your consent to them using your data and contacting your landlord and so on. So basically, this is the very little information, but as I said in the document that you are shared, there's a number of useful tips. For instance, most contracts, in fact, would not be regular. They do not follow the template established by the government. So the scope for negotiation there, some contracts have not been registered at the taxation office. Some contracts have expenses that are way too high as compared to the rent. So there's a lot of scope for negotiation. So you're very welcome to write to them, and please be as clear as you can when you write to them, because otherwise it's gonna be a very big mess. You need to provide copy of your contract when you write to them, if you have one. If several tenants in the same property, you need to specify if it's only you who wants this and this action, or if it is the entire group living the apartment. You need to specify the amount of deposit that you have paid, and until when you have actually paid for your rent. It's very important to evaluate, are my belongings still in the apartment? What's going to happen to them? So you also need to indicate to the tenants union what is your desire, if you can just let them go, or if you would really like the landlord to keep them for you. Okay, so this is just a few guidelines for the rental disputes, and do go ahead and write to the Tenants Union, Unione Inquilini. First time you write to them, please put us in copy. Okay, now we take some questions, and please, just any questions. Also, for next week, we would like to hear from you if you have any specific topic that you would like us to discuss. It would also be really nice if some of you, those students who are not in Italy, for instance, if they would like to tell us about how they are experiencing lockdown in their home country. That would be really nice. So, are there any questions? No questions? Alice, can you see any questions?
No.
No. Okay, then we call it a night. And thank you.
Yes, there's one.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Sara. Buonasera. Apart from the rental issues, there are also issues regarding the documents that are due. For example, I have not received my Codice Fiscale tessera yet. If I go back, how do I get back to the department?
How do you get back to?
The department. I think, if he wants to have this Codice Fiscale, the tessera, how can he?
Okay, many things are still pending. Like when the lockdown was in place, we had 3 batches, students who had just arrived, they didn't manage to finish their permit of stay application or their fiscal code application. Okay, you have to think everything will be very flexible, both from our part and also from institutions and all the bureaucratic issues. So for the fiscal code, probably he has been delivered to your address, your card. If it has not, it's not a problem at this stage. You have your paper document and that is just fine. So when you will come back to Italy, if that's your intention, we will you will need to visit the taxation office again and request a substitute card. Okay. And for all those who have not finished their permit application, for instance, permit procedures, as soon as the lockdown is lifted, or maybe already from the 4th of May, we will contact the immigration office again and ask what's next, how do we go from here? Okay, and the other thing is, up to now, all your documents, all your application that might have expired, their validity has been extended until the 15th of June. So that's already something. And we will see. I'm sure there will be some ways to extend all the documents that are about to expire, and this should not have an impact on your future permit application and so on. So we are expecting this to happen because, I mean, it's a global situation.
And there's another question, but it is on the same line as the other one. What would happen if my visa, because I don't have my permit yet?
Yeah. Yes, you are here legally on your visa, so that's enough. You're probably from one of those masters who were supposed to go to their appointment on the 21st of March. So all these students will be contacted again as soon as we have more news from the immigration office. But you have a valid visa. And as I said, even if your visa would have expired before, this would it has been extended until the 15th of June at least. I know there are a few students who have a very short visa, but this has been extended until the validity is extended until the 15th of June. More questions?
One again on the permit of stay. So my permit of stay expires mid-July. I was supposed to start in this month the process to extend it. Do you think there would be issues to extend it?
Okay, mid-July. Okay, at this stage they have provided measures for all this until the 15th of June. So if the lockdown continues, or if all the operations of the immigration office are delayed, further delayed, they will extend this as well. Okay, so you might want to write to us at least 2 weeks before your permit expires again, and we can update you. We will give you updates regularly, but just in case, you write again 2 weeks before your permit expires.
Another question. I am doing the residency process. Yesterday, I received a call instead of the face-to-face visit. What is the next step?
That's it. If you received the call, could you understand what they were saying to you? Maybe not, but basically, they just wanted to make sure that you exist. They probably asked you, do you confirm you live here and there? So basically, instead of the person coming out to check that you actually live there, that's how they do it now. They just give you a call. So now, within maximum 45 days, you will be a resident. It means you will receive your residency certificate. Most probably, it will be sent to you in the mail. Not in the mail, as an email, sorry. Okay. More questions?
Yes, I have one more question here.
Yes?
Yes, my name is Abdelaziz Al-Qubari. I am from Saudi Arabia.
Hi.
And I am part of part-time. Yes, hi. Actually, when the coronavirus started, I'm working in Rome, actually, and during the weekend, I was traveling to Milan to attend my classes. But since the lockdown was started, my country asked us to evacuate Italy, and now I am in my country now.
Okay.
So I don't know if the government will allow to go back to the school by early of May, while my country still are locked down all the international flights. So how it gonna be managed in that case? Is the school will allow both way to attend the classes until the issue been resolved, or?
Yeah. So as I said, MIP is preparing all different scenarios. So the school, I can tell you, will be very, very flexible. And because, for instance, we are a bit ahead, like we are 3 weeks ahead in the crisis as compared to other countries. So we might be, I don't know, but we might be prepared to open for travel, maybe a week, 2 weeks before other countries. And then it's not only the restriction for Italy, there are European restrictions, and there might be restrictions, especially for non-EU students. They might be facing travel barriers in their countries and closures in their countries. So you know that teaching is online, and it will remain so until as long as it is necessary, possibly with the dual possibility of teaching online and in presence. So don't worry about this. You are part-time MBA?
Yes.
Part-time MBA. So you're very welcome to be in contact with your coordinator and your program director to learn about more specifically about teaching, distance learning and online classes for your course. But as I said, I can confirm MIP is being very open and very flexible because measures are evolving very fast. So we need just to be prepared for the different scenarios, and there will be a positive response to allocate all needs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There is another question. I have one question about my residency. I received a visit in December, but I still didn't receive any confirmation. How can I know if everything is right? When they visited, they said it was okay.
Okay, basically they do not by default confirm to you, okay, you are a resident. You discover that everything is fine when you go to the municipality and request a certificate of residency. And this now can be done online. So I suggest you do it. You go online and request a residency certificate. So you can write a mail to us and we can send you the document with all the instructions on how to request a residency certificate. Okay. More questions? No? Okay, guys. So thank you very much for being here with us today. And we will probably talk again next week or the week after. And you're very welcome to write to us with any question you may have, any topic you would like us to discuss. And we'd be happy to take them to the next session. Okay. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening and stay safe. Another 2 weeks inside the home and maybe we can see the light. Okay. Thank you again.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye.